Well, this is fascinating now. I am not a Satanist. I do not believe in Satan. I said this on a video, last night? My father was a Satanist. Now, some Satanists back in the day masqueraded as atheists. Nowadays, it's completely acceptable to be a Satanist, and if I was one, I would say so, and I would keep saying so. What I am going to keep saying, actually, is I am an atheist, and nothing will change me now. I am also a feminist, and religion of any kind is completely and utterly incompatible with feminism, including witchcraft, which isn't much different from Satanism. I've been among witches for a long time. My first year or two in Wales. There's really not much difference. I don't put much stock in Aleister Crowley. Actually, yes, he was a bad man. There are lots of bad men. Aleister Crowley was not the first Satanist. Anton LaVey was nothing at all. Anton LaVey was a pretender. Aleister Crowley, not the wickedest man in the world, and very definitely not the first Satanist. So anyway, religion not compatible with my feminism. Feminism is my religion. If you want to call it that. You can call it anything you like. It's what I am. It's what I am. It's what I always have been, and I'm not changing now. So, I do now belong to a group on Facebook called Atheist Republic, which I rather suspect is not entirely about atheism. It seems to be a survey to find out an awful lot about its members. This is the nature of Facebook. However, of course, it's an American group, basically. I'm amazed, or I was, how difficult these people found it to come out as atheists. I just think, what the fuck? I was an atheist at 5. This is, how many years ago? 1959, I don't know. I can't even bother to work it out at the moment. I don't know if the school I was in knew that I was an atheist. They certainly did by the time I was 13, when I said to my father, all right, take me out of these bloody religious groups then. Take me out of assembly, especially assembly. Oh my God. I remember one time in assembly, I didn't have a hanky on me. It was the summer of '66. I did have the worst hay fever I've ever had in my life. So I've got a nose like a tap. No hanky. And all I can do is stand there with this religious gobshite going on around me, with my nose streaming and not a damn thing I can do about it. Not to mention that it bored me to freaking tears. I do, up to a point actually, share my father's viewpoint that in order to be a Christian you have to be an idiot. It's almost amusing that Christians will say, yes, of course I believe in Adam and Eve. And of course I believe in the virgin birth. Loch Ness Monster? Don't be silly. Just because millions of people have actually seen it, there's a lot more proof for the Loch Ness Monster than there is for your bloody God. Loch Ness Monster, conspiracy theorist. UFOs, millions of people have seen them, photographed them. Conspiracy theorist, but I'm going to believe in a God. Completely invisible. Everything about Jesus Christ is anecdotal. We don't know whether he actually existed or not. He might have. Fairly nice bloke by the looks of it. But you will never convince me that there was this clay model Adam and Eve. I mean, Dave Allen has summed it up so beautifully, but so many other people have as well, I mean, there's Adam. He's been put there. He's wandering around in this beautiful garden. Suddenly Eve appears beside him, and he doesn't appear to notice anything different. Until she eats a frigging apple. on the instructions of a talking serpent. But hey, if you believe in UFOs or the Loch Ness Monster or that 9/11 was an inside job, you are a nutcase. Yeah, okay. Lots of evidence for all those things. And the Yeti. And Sasquatch. Lots and lots of eyewitness testimony. Reliable eyewitness testimony. But no, you won't believe in those, but you will believe in this invisible fucking God. And I'm getting absolutely sick of it because, funnily enough, I have never until recently been challenged in my atheism. Only by my hypocritical mother in October 1981. And I was absolutely gobsmacked. She and my father came to my home and told me that they were afraid, well, my mother told me that she was afraid, that my daughter would be excluded from the nativity play because of my atheism. I didn't know what to say to her. I thought, you what? But you know damn well I've been raised atheist. What have you ever said about your so-called Christianity? Fuck all. I didn't know Jesus existed till I got to school. And, well, I was never taught about Jesus or God until I got to school, put it that way. She taught me to read and write before I got there and do my psalms. But she'd never said a word about this Jesus character. Some Christian she was, but she lived for 50 years with a man who called himself an atheist and was in fact a Satanist. This does not mean that all atheists are Satanists. I do want to stress this. I was absolutely, totally gobsmacked by the hypocrisy of the bloody woman. That right there and then should have proved to me that she was insane. Not to mention the fact that I attended my daughter's nativity play, if you'll pardon the phrase, religiously. I loved seeing her in the nativity play. You can call me a hypocrite if you like, but it made me cry every time. I didn't get the chance to cry at her wedding because she did that in St. Lucia. And I didn't have the money to get to St. Lucia, also I was agoraphobic at the time. My father could have gone, of course, if he was still alive, which he may have been. Anyway, that's that. My nutty fruitcake mother, although they were setting me up, because a month later, less than a month later actually, the SS, Social Services, took my daughter from her school and delivered her straight to her freaking grandparents. For whom, by the way, she can thank all her foot operations, because they kept buying her these blasted pointy shoes behind my back. Deed done. If I took them off her, I was the monster. Her feet were ruined. Operation after operation after operation. Thank you, grandparents. Don't forget to thank them for that, Kerry. Sorry. Okay. So the SS, presumably on the grounds of my atheism, and completely disregarding my father's Satanism and paedophilia, Nazism, and their propensity to murder people, decided that was the best place for my daughter to be. She was there for 2 months. At the end of those 2 months, I fought it in court. I got her back. However, what I got back was a little savage. The hair matted, tangled, unwashed, uncombed, and kicking her grandmother on the court steps. Fortunately, she didn't stay that way for long. But I do wonder what happened in those 2 months, as including Christmas, one of my father's satanic favourites, So basically what I'm saying here is I don't want anything to do with any religion. You can stuff your Christianity, and you can stuff your Satanism, and you can stuff every other damned religion straight up your ass. But I'm saying more than that. Atheist Republic seems to think it's as hard to come out as atheist as it is to come out as gay. And at first I was, you what? Most of the people I ever knew in my life were atheist. I barely knew Christians existed. Never had any problems until this year. And suddenly this year, every man and his dog, pardon Danny, is trying to convert me to Christianity. All of a sudden, people have a problem with my atheism. And I'm beginning to understand where these people are coming from. I thought, oh God, I thought it was only a problem in America, not in Europe. For God's sake, you know. Well, you know, there's one good thing about this. If Christians are now getting their act together and proselytizing and creating more Christians, then they're in with a fighting chance against Islam. That has to be a good thing. The bad thing is that they're never likely to unite in arms with atheists so that we can jointly fight against Islam, which is definitely the worst of all the evils. I'd put it roughly on a par with Satanism. Yes, I was deeply, deeply, deeply triggered when I put up a 24-second video, which I have subsequently removed. However, to give me shit about putting it in the group is more hypocrisy, given the number of satanic symbols and pictures I have seen on a regular basis in that group without one single trigger warning. Yo, atheists, I'm with you. And feminists in the old-fashioned sense of women who want equality in all things, i.e. sexual freedom, which is not usually included in the definition, financial equality, political equality, equality. We don't want to go around murdering men, well, not many of them anyway. I might, one or two if I got the chance, but I'm not going to get the chance, so there we go. Feminist. I'm on women's side, as long as those women are on their own side, and they are not what I have always referred to as anti-women. I think that doesn't need much explanation.